We are going to look at another topic from section 3.3. This video is going to cover additional operators. When we look at additional operators, we're going to be looking at keywords, and some of the keywords you're going to find on this chart. So if you look at this chart, the keywords are going to be either, neither, unless, because, and then no. And so you're going to find those keywords in the statements. And so these are called additional operators. And so you'll find out whenever you work through some of the examples in the homework that you're going to be looking for those keywords. This chart is also going to be very helpful, and you're going to want to kind of have a copy of this chart. So this is a good page that you might want to have printed off in your notes. Let's take a look at an example. So one of your homework problems will look something like this. It will say, verify the indicated definition from the additional operators table using a truth table. And then it just says P because Q. Okay, which is kind of weird. And so what I've done for you is I have given you the and chart, the implies conditional chart, and then I just kind of took a snip of the P because Q part of that additional operators chart. So let me walk you through how you would actually do this problem in your homework. So you would take your conditional, you would do a truth table. And so we would start out and we would do our P and Q. And then we would do P and Q. So if you look right here in this P because Q part of this additional operators chart, you're going to see right underneath the definition right here, it says that P because Q is equivalent to this definition, P and Q implies P. So that's what you're going to have to prove using the truth table. Okay, so we went ahead and listed our P's, Q's. I went ahead and put the P and Q from my chart. And then I'm going ahead and I'm going to do, so I did that first part, P and Q. Now to do Q implies P, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write in Q implies P. So I need to do Q and P, right? So I'm going to go ahead and really small, I'm going to put Q and P down. So there's my Q and P so that they're right next to each other. And then once I have Q and P, then I'm going to go Q implies P, and I'm going to go right over here, and I'm going to go T implies T, false implies true, that would be T, true implies false, that would be F, and then false implies false would be true. So then I'm going to go grab those values, okay? So that came from this yellow chart. All right, so now I've gotten this part. Okay, so this red column is this first part. The blue is the second part. And then the only thing that's left over now is to do this and this. So I'm ready to put these two columns together using and. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to grab that red. So I went ahead and I grabbed this column, and I'm going to grab this blue column because that's the first part. This blue is going to be the second part. And then I'm going to use my and chart because they're joined in a compound statement using and. I'm going to put all of these values into my and chart. T and T, false and T would be false, false and false would be false, and then false and T would be false. So once I do all of that, so I'm going to put all of those values in. So there is all of my values, T, F, F, F. All right. So now, once you get all of those values, what they wanted you to do, the directions say to verify the indicated definition. So what they wanted you to do is they wanted you to check your answers. So our answers at the end, they wanted you to check that you got the same answers in the end that they got on their table. So in the end, we got TFFF, and they on their table that they got TFFF. So they want you to verify that you went through all the steps and you got the same answer that they did. So that's how they got the answer, but they wanted you to see how they got the answer. So that's what they're doing. Now, whenever you go through it, they may say to do like either, because that's another one of the additional operators, and you'll have to go through the steps with the either or neither. So you'll have another one in one of your homework problems, but you'll do it the same exact way. Another example that uses additional operators are going to be something like one of these statements that says translate the statement into symbols, and they'll give you two statements. They'll say let G be my favorite meat is fried chicken, and S be I am a Southern Baptist. And then they will give you this statement and they'll say, my favorite meat is fried chicken because I am a Southern Baptist. And so then they will want you to translate that statement into symbols. And they'll want you to do it into symbols. Now, you have to look at this statement and you have to pick out keywords. So look at this statement and tell me which additional operator keyword do you see in this statement? Do you see any keywords? So I see a keyword. The keyword that I am seeing is because. Since I see because, I'm going to go to that additional operators table and I'm going to pick out the because part of that table. So the because part says P because Q. All right. So since it says P because Q, then I am going to have G because S. Okay. So G because S. So what I'm going to do is, since they want me to translate the statement into symbols, instead of P because Q, I'm going to say G because S. And so this is the part that's in symbols. So anywhere I see a P, I'm going to put a G. And anywhere I see a Q, I'm going to put an S. So it's actually pretty simple. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ugly little statement here and I'm going to substitute G's and S's in it. And so I'm going to take and say G and S implies G. And that's all there is to it. And the good thing is most of these are like multiple choice, so you just get to pick it out of a lineup. And so that's all you have to do. Look for the keyword, pick it out, and then take the definition part of it in symbols and substitute in the symbols that they give you. Okay, that's all you have to do. All right.